SHOT Show in Las Vegas is like Comic-Con for gear and firearms, with a slightly different cosplay. To get a look at the latest innovations in everything from optics to handguns, we were on the ground at the Granddaddy of Gear Expos and found some things you might be interested in. It might be too late for some of you to save your hearing, but an increasing number of people are interested in suppressors for their firearms. And one company out of Tampa is not only trying to make them as silent as possible, but also as light as possible. Daniel Woolfolk has more.
Domingo, it's really good seeing you on the range on Monday, even though we got rained out, so we didn't get to talk too much. The Carbon Research makes carbon fiber suppressors, and you have quite a line of them. Talk us through them.
Our carbon fiber suppressors, they're a true carbon fiber suppressor. The baffles are carbon fiber as well. Using a proprietary resin, Kevlar, and the carbon fiber laminate, we create something that's able to withstand enormous quantities of pressure. Some of our suppressors have been with us since SHOT Show Range Day of last year. They've since gone through SHOT Show, Suppressed Fest, CanCon, and Range Day now. We're coming up on our 15,000 rounds. We make things we believe in, and we make things we want to shoot ourselves. Starting off our lineup, we have the CR22, 2.3 ounces, rated for all rimfire cartridges, sub and supersonic.
That's nuts.
Besides the applications for the rimfire, which you can use for hunting, use for plinking, 22 is there's such a cheap ammo, such widespread availability. So many people have the opportunity to enjoy these.
And I wanted to ask about, you got different sizes, but if I remember correctly, you get a little bit more versatility once you get something on the bigger side.
Exactly. I look at it the way a consumer would. We believe in our products, and if you have to go out and get a tax stamp, we don't want you to have to get multiple tax stamps for multiple different suppressors. Our CR9 multi-can weighs in at 6.5 ounces and is a true multi-caliber suppressor. It can handle all rimfires, sub and supersonic. We make the end caps for that as well. It can handle 9mm, sub and supersonic, full auto rated, and 300 blackout, sub and supersonic. The goal in creating this was making something you can use for all applications. I enjoy hunting. Living in Florida, going after deer and hog and large game in the Everglades, I want something that can take those animals down in a single, well-placed, efficient shot. With some of the ammo that we have available nowadays, 300 blackout supersonic with expanding cartridges is a wonderful, wonderful product to use. This can handle it. I want to be able to pull that off of my hunting rifle setup. I want to put that on my 9mm PCC setup for home defense. You can do that with one tax stamp. I also love rimfire. I love plinking and I love small game hunting. I want to be able to pull that suppressor off of my 9mm PCC, put it on my Ruger 1022 takedown, do a little bit of hunting, do a little bit of shooting with it as well. One tax stamp does it all.
And by tax stamps, you're referring to the federal guidelines that if you're going to have an NFA item, National Firearms Act item, you got to buy a $200 tax stamp for this serialized item, another one for this serial number, another one for this serial number, so it adds up. So going from top to bottom is something you're saying is more cost efficient on the tax side.
Exactly. We hope that the day soon approaches where hearing safety can be accessible for everyone without getting the federal government involved. But until then, we will continue to make products that can handle sub and supersonic rounds and a wide range of calibers to make sure the end user is 100% satisfied with our product.
And what kind of demand are you seeing from government agencies, from law enforcement, military?
There's a huge amount of interest. Now, when it comes to applications for the military, one of the big issues with suppressors is heat. Now, not only does that have issues showing up in thermal optics, which are being used much more widespread nowadays, you can also get some distortion, heat distortion in your scopes. You get a mirage after firing continuous rounds or on especially hot days. Our carbon fiber does not heat up the same way that metal does. It's almost like cast iron and tin foil in an oven. They can both reach the same temperature, but they dissipate heat much quicker, making follow-up shots much easier. And when it comes to heat at night, it's important to try to stay as concealed as possible. Another thing that is an advantage of the heat dissipation is doing rifle to sidearm transitions. A lot of times with metal cans, if you're training and you're shooting, rapidly that can's going to heat up and hold that heat for quite some time. It's going to be a while before you can case that up at the gun range and take it home. Our suppressors cool off. If you're doing those transitions to your sidearm, you'll no longer burn the sides of your pants, and you'll no longer burn some of the gear. Other companies have made completely successful businesses based on wraps for suppressors. Our suppressors do not need these wraps.
All right, Domingo, thank you for having us here, and thank you for having us at Range Day.
Daniel, it's always a pleasure to spend some time with Military Times. You're a well-respected organization, and it's an absolute pleasure to talk to you guys.
Thank you. Can't cover a SHOT Show without covering Glock, and every year they got something new. This year is no different, and we're here with Scotty, who's going to show us the Glock G19X.
All right, guys, so what we have here is the Glock 19X MOS. If you guys recall, the 19X was developed back in 2016 for the military trials. When the military went a different direction, we had this great pistol we thought we had, so we actually released it to the public. The original version of it did not have MOS capability. So now, since we live in a red dot world, we redid the 19X with MOS capability. So I can remove the cover plate here, put my favorite optic of choice on there. It's going to come from the factory with suppressor height sights and a Glock factory threaded barrel. Also has the extended FBI style magazine catch. Same 19X flavor, same color, everything. The only thing changed on it, the flavor was the MOS capability. Other than that, the 19X flavor is exactly the same as it was when it was released back in 2016.
Got it, thank you. And up next is?
Up next is the, the G49. This is new to the world as well. So the G49, it has flavor from the Glock 17, it has flavor from the Glock 19, all right? So the frame is a complete G19 frame, so that's all 19 flavor. The top end, the Glock 17 link slide, okay? So in order to make the longer Glock 17 link slide compatible with a short 19 frame right here, we had to extend the nose ring so you have more material. Now this is not a new design. We've been doing this design on our G34s for a long time, but it's new to the 17 length guns, all right? So the slide, we had to add more material to the nose ring here to make the longer slide compatible with the short Glock 19 dust cover. Inside the gun, this is a 17 link slide, so it has a Glock 17 link barrel, but it uses a shorter Glock 19 recoil spring.
And what benefits do you get from this firearm? What have people been asking for?
So this was a gun that's been asked for a few years, more for concealability purposes. The people were saying, hey, we're not so concerned about how much of the slide goes down into my waist. They were more concerned about how much of the grip printed from the waist here. So we shortened the grip down, made the slide longer, so now people are happy with this.
So we got the concealability mixed with a longer sight radius, gives you a lot more precision on the optics.
It has a lot more modularity. I could take this slide off and put a Glock 19 slide on this, and now I got a Glock 19. So if I want a regular traditional size Glock 19 frame with a traditional 19 slide, I got that. Or if I want a longer slide, the G49 slide is longer, 17 link slide, and we have that.
All right, Scotty, thank you so much. You got a busy show. We'll leave you to it.
Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you.